Hey Cards, this is our Medical Lake High School Club Special. We apologize that this isn't all of the clubs due to time and personnel limitations. We hope you enjoy the special.
I'm Mrs. Carl. I'm the Book Tucker advisor. I've been doing Book Tuckers now for 5 years. This is my 5th year. I went and did some research and I found out that in 2002 was the first thing in the yearbooks that I could find. And so I believe it's 21 years old that the Book Tuckers have been in existence. They have a big impact on this library because we use the funds that all the students in Book Tuckers collect over the school year to buy new books for the library, and that also reflects on what books that students pick or students like to read, and not based on what myself or Mrs. Hester is choosing for the library, but also reflects your personal choices of the whole school.
I am the club president. I was voluntold to be the president. There wasn't going to be any seniors left, and so I just said, okay. I start the meetings, and I help plan stuff out like the Barnes & Noble trip and other events. Well, we have a contest going on for a hoodie that if you read a certain amount of books and pages added up, you get a free hoodie at the end of the year. There's also the football events where we go out there and sell donuts. I like that it's fun. I like books, which is mainly what we talk about here.
Yes, we are having a published author of a murder mystery series called The Clock Towers coming in. Her name is Patricia Meredith, and she's going to be coming in she's going to be speaking, and this is a thing for the Book Talkers members and for people who were specifically chosen by their ELA teachers. So the way that I had to reserve my spot is we had a prompt and we wrote a short story about it. She's going to read them all. I personally just sent mine in to her today. So she's going to read them all, and she's also going to talk about what we can do to become better writers and some things about storytelling that would be very vital to a writer, as well as ways to look at different stories that you read.
If you'd like to join Book Tuckers Club, it is every Tuesday at lunchtime. The meeting's in the fiction part of the library. If you like books, this is the place to be.
What do you do in robotics? That's a great question. We do a multitude of things, but mainly all things to do with robots, such as mechanics and wiring and electronics and coding and all sorts of stuff. And we also do business and marketing. It's a lot of fun. We have separate jobs for certain people that are toned to their abilities. There's certain positions we call the leadership that everybody gets their own, we vote on it and such. And everybody gets their own specific niche that they fit into. And I am the treasurer. I handle the funding for the Robotics Club.
Hello, I'm Logan, if you didn't know. I'm the president of the Robotics Club and also the lead coder, programmer. So yeah.
Hi, my name is PK. I've been on the Robotics Club for 3 years. Currently, I'm the vice president, so I do a lot of communication stuff with local businesses, the parents, a lot of outreach and stuff.
Hi, I'm Mads. I'm the Secretary of Robotics, and I'm in charge of taking attendance, doing minutes for the club, and just helping out where I'm needed.
So, what skills can you learn and use in robotics? The short answer is basically everything. As we've already mentioned, we do everything from coding, design, prototyping, testing, electrical stuff, mechanical stuff, cutting pieces, fitting them together, all those things. Also, we do businesses and marketing and all that stuff.
So an average day on like a club meeting, it's only 2 hours. We usually start off with like a club meeting where it's like everybody together. We talk to our mentors because usually that's kind of important because usually throughout the day we break off into our little groups. So we establish things like, oh, this is our next competition, this is what everybody should be working on, and we'll like discuss club issues and we'll vote on things. Then usually we'll go out and work on our individual products. The coding people usually work in Mr. U's room, while mechanical people primarily work in the robotics room, which is separate. Yeah.
A reason to join robotics is that everything that you learn in this club can be used later in life, such as wiring and coding, depending on what you do. It will help you later in life. It's a good hands-on class and such. It's a lot like shop class and like Mr. U's engineering classes. You learn a lot of stuff, designing and such. It's a lot of fun and it's great and it'll help you later in life. And scholarships, yeah, you can apply for a scholarship.
Okay, so when you hear about this robotics club, you might hear things about competitions. Competitions are basically the way to prove your robot. So after we finish building a robot, well, first of all, we have to know what we need the robot to do. So in most cases, every year, January, they will release the rules and then all the designs of the field, basically your goal in the game. And then we will go through the entire process of building the robot. Then, after that, you will get to go to competitions. These competitions gather a bunch of teams from around the United States and the world, actually, into specific areas. So, for example, Yakima or Cheney or even Oregon. Then there, these 30-ish teams all compete 3-on-3 against each other to score the most points. And if you get enough points throughout the entire competition season, you'll get to go to Houston, which is called the Worlds event, where all the best teams play together, and every competition is a super fun experience.
I hope we make it to districts because I've actually never been to a districts competition and I really want to go to one. Last year we were like 3 points away and that was a really big bummer. So this year I hope we can make it to districts. Hopefully we will do well enough to go to Worlds. I think a lot of the people on this team work very hard and care about it a bunch, and I think it'd be cool for me and my teammates to go.
Mr. Durst is awesome.
What are we talking about? Robotics?
Yep.
Everybody should be in robotics.
Exactly.
Everybody should be in robotics.
He makes a good point.
That's right.
Yep.
Some words of advice. Everybody should join robotics. Everybody should join ASB. Basically, anything that supports your future or your community, you should join and participate in. The other thing, too, is you should always learn that there's never such a thing as a bad investment in yourself. Always invest in yourself. What's the worst thing that can happen? You don't like it and you move on to something else. At least you tried it.
Tabletop Club is about just playing tabletop games like Sorry, Uno, any kind of card game, board game. Typically, we usually play Dungeons and Dragons, which currently is the main star of Tabletop Club. But we will also play, as I said, board games and card games such as Tabletop, Uno, Blackjack.
Typically, a day at Tabletop Club is a little chaotic, but we try to have as much restraint as we can. And since we play a lot of D&D down there, it's a lot of role-playing, and that sometimes gets a little out of hand, but we try to stay on the story as much as we can.
So the Tabletop Club takes place downstairs in the 800 room, also known as the J-Rotzi room or the basement. To get there, a lot of people don't know. You basically just, like on the south side of the school, or southwest side of the school, there's a stairway next to that big stairway, and it's an immediate right, and then right again. So the reason why I joined Tabletop Club is because last year I went towards the end of the year, and I had an amazing time. I met a bunch of people. A lot of people that I knew were there already, and before that I had no experience with D&D. I only knew the very basics. But once I got into it and once I started going, I realized how much fun it was and how friendly and passionate everyone is towards D&D is.
Well, I'm from this area, and I grew up 20 miles west of Airway Heights, from Reardon, and I have a farm here. Really into agriculture and promoting youth involvement in that, because I think that in the future we're going to have issues with being able to produce enough food. So with that in mind, I just thought that it would be a good move to be a teacher. Well, there's a couple different things that FFA provides for students. The first one would be leadership. There's lots of different opportunities out there for students to go out and get involved in the leadership process, whether it be public speaking, community service, things like that. And then on the backside of FFA, there's also career readiness. So there's lots of different competitions that students can get involved in that are kind of like pathways that we have here at school. And they just kind of prepare you for the next step after high school. No, since the rebranding that happened back in the early 2000s and late 90s, FFA has broadened its horizons to any type of student, so you don't necessarily have to come from a traditional farm or ag background. You don't need to know a whole lot to join the club. There's an event or an activity for everyone, and they're trying to be as inclusive as possible. Well, we have monthly meetings. Usually they're on Wednesday during lunch. A lot of the times I like to have some sort of snack, and we have our meetings. You just have to talk to the office and the secretaries, and they'll update final forms, and there aren't any formal dues that you have to pay. We offer up fundraising, and that just takes care of your chapter dues in order to be a part of the club. So coming to meetings is the first step, and making sure that you do some sort of fundraising to pay for your dues, and you're in. It's a pretty streamlined process. They happen in my classroom, room 902. It's usually about at 11:55 till 12:28. There's lots of different things that you can do in FFA. We go on lots of field trips that are tailored towards those career readiness opportunities that I talked about earlier. There's lots of networking, so if you happen to go on one of these trips with me, you might go on an industry tour where we get to go onto a feedlot and watch how cows are raised. Or maybe we go to a lumber mill and see how natural resources deals with their product making. There's loads and loads of different opportunities and field trips to miss school that are actually educational, and so it's a fun way of getting out of the classroom and learning some more real-world application type stuff. On top of that, there's lots of socials and student interactment. So a lot of the times they like having dances, or recently there was a trip to Scarywood. So there's just lots of different fun, wholesome activities that you can get involved in. You do not. It's pretty open nowadays. Urban agriculture is getting a lot more popular. If you helped Grandma and Grandpa rake leaves, that's good enough for us. Or if you have a full-time farming operation with some cows or some pigs, or you got chickens, whatever it is that you do in your life, there's probably some sort of connection to agriculture. Talk to your friends, talk to your peers, and if they can't convince you, come have a chat with me. I'll talk to you during lunch and kind of explain what we like to do around here. And I think that it's a really, really beneficial activity and club. I probably wouldn't be a teacher, specifically an ag teacher, if it wouldn't have been for the FFA. Go Cardinals and have a great week, folks.
What's up, Cardinals? I'm John Gross. This is
Addison Schaefer.
Sick. All right. This is Addie Schaefer. She plays trumpet. All right. I got a few questions for her. We're gonna get to know some band. All right. What is the best part of band?
I'm in jazz band, so definitely not waking up every morning. But for me, jazz band is my favorite part of band.
I actually agree with that completely. I completely agree with that. Absolute bars. Straight fire.
Fire, facts.
Yeah. When did you realize you were improving, and how did that drive you?
I'm a section leader this year, and I was kind of relying on my upperclassmen last year for band. But now that I'm the oldest and first chair and stuff, I have to really step it up. So I started practicing over the summer, and I've really improved since then.
That's great. No, that's great. What was your favorite performance that we've done?
Any Christmas performance, because I love Christmas music.
Yeah, we always have incredible Christmas music. Y'all should really come out and come to our performances.
Awesome. Come out and support.
Absolutely. Just like we do y'all come out and support us.
For real.
All right. I'm John Gross. This is Addie Schaefer. That's the interview. Hello again, Cards. This is
Emma Bogner.
And I'm John Gross. I got a few questions for you. So, what made you stick with band?
I really liked it in 6th grade, and it was easy enough for me to learn.
Absolutely, no. It didn't take me that long to learn bass. Y'all should really learn an instrument. It's not that hard. Is band easy?
Yes. Very, very, very easy. Depends on the instrument as well.
Absolutely. As y'all know, I'm John, and I'm here with actually Mr. Johnson, the band director. Amazing guy. All right, so let's get this interview underway.
All right.
So what makes our band so great?
The students. The students are awesome. I can't believe I get to come work with these great kids every day and make music.
That's great to hear. Thank you. What makes a great musician?
Great musician, you got to have your math down, AP calculus skills. You got to be able to count to 3, 4, sometimes 6. You got to be artistic. You have to be a team player, athletic. Got to be able to be we got to do athletic stuff out there, move and groove at the same time. It's not easy to play a song by memory and do motions, especially when you got a bass drummer coming right at you and they can't see where they're going. That's scary. So there's a lot that goes into it.
When is our next performance, and what are you excited for about this performance?
I believe it's the Veterans Day performance coming up in a couple weeks, and it's great to honor our veterans, our heroes in our community, and we like to play the patriotic music, and it's fun to do wind ensemble again, concert band. We've been doing a lot of pep band music, so it's a big shift from doing the in-your-face pep band music to pretty sounds and gorgeous chords, and that'll be a fun one. And then I know with the snow coming, everybody likes to get into the winter mode, and we get our Christmas music out, and that's a lot of fun to get ready for. Plus, we got some new tunes we're ordering for basketball season, so I'm excited. We're working really hard this year on learning a ton of new tunes, so the band's having to work hard every day.
That's incredible. I'm John Gross. This is Mr. Johnson. Thank you for the interview. Go Cards.
Go Cards.
Hello, Cards. A quick shout out to all the clubs that weren't shown today. FBLA, JROTC, Key Club, Knowledge Bowl, Music Theater and Choir, Chess Club, National Honor Society, SAGA, HOSA, and NHS.